Don't, baby. Oh, Hello, Confidant community. Thank you for waiting. I'm just catching my stride here. Welcome to the Confidant community live at 5. It's really great to be here on our last week of June and our last live for the month too. I can't imagine how quickly this month went. How many of you out there feel like this month just went right by you? Anyway, good to be here. Hopefully you're taking in these jazzy grooves. How many of you even know this song? You're going to date yourself if you know this song, by the way. Anyway, every week on the Live at 5 with the Confidant community, we strive to make financial conversations accessible. And this week will be no different. And you might know that we have a special series happening this month. All month, we've been taking you behind the scenes at Team Jackie Porter. And today, we'll be taking you behind the scenes when it comes to how we operate on the day-to-day basis, just to ensure our clients have a great client experience. So I hope you have been enjoying this music, because I
have been.
Especially.
It's fun.
Are you enjoying this, Parthik?
I am, yes.
Awesome. So that I'm going to talk a little bit about it. So as I said, today we'll be taking you behind the scenes when it comes to how we operate day to day, just to ensure our clients have a great client experience. And I wanted to sort of give you a sneak peek on what processes we use to build our processes out, just to make it a seamless experience for our clients that work with us. And because we're talking about client experience behind the scenes operations, I want to introduce you to Parthik Mehta, affectionately called the engine of our team, as he keeps our team fully remote team running, actually. And, Parthik, because we're now fully in the summer season, I chose this special song for you. It's from the album Red Hot in Rio, featuring the artists Omar, Anna Karam, and Incognito. These are all like acid jazzy grooves for those of you who are into that kind of thing. And for those of you who are actually not familiar with the Red Hot series, this series was actually around in the 90s to raise millions of dollars to support HIV causes. And a lot of the artists that were on these albums are now household names. So Everything But the Girl was also on there. George Michael was on the Red Hot in Rio album. Maxwell, how many of you knew this, was also on the Red Hot in Rio album as well. So really just check it out if you've never checked out Red Hot in Rio. Great opportunity to kind of check out some of the artists you may know and love but never heard this album before, some of their special music on that album. Anyway, I chose this song because it's called Water to Drink. So Water to Drink is the reason I chose the song, because water is essential, Confidant community. And so is this person I'm about to introduce. So I'm going to just tell you my favorite Parthik story, which is when Parthik came to Canada as a new immigrant. He actually started as an intern on my team, and it was his first job actually coming to Canada, if I remember correctly. Good. So he became an intern on my team. He had reached out to me from the internship program. And when he started to work with me as an intern, he constantly kept reaching out to me to find out how we could add more value. And I just kept thinking, who's this kid who just keeps nagging me? Anyway, I soon became really impressed with his persistence, his empathy, and just keen aptitude in how he used technology. So I just want to welcome you formally to the live, Parthik. It's so exciting to have you on presenting you to the Confidant community. So let's just get into it, right?
Yeah.
All right. So please introduce yourself and let the community learn a little bit more about you and identify your role at TJP as well.
Of course. So for some of our clients who are over here and listening to this live, I know you must have got a lot of emails. You must have been a part of our client events as well.
Right.
And you must have seen me. But for those who haven't met me or haven't received any email conversations from me, my name is Parthik. I am the Operations and Compliance Manager over here at Team Jackie Porter. And I've been in this industry for almost 6 years now. I have experience in regulatory compliance, I have experience in technology, and I would say I have experience when it comes to fraud prevention and anti-money laundering as well.
Oh wow,
So
I didn't think about that, but yeah, of course you would
yeah,
have all of that.
yeah. So all in all, I mean, I have been a lot into when it comes to technology. I've been developing myself over the past few years a lot into technologies. I have been learning and developing myself in compliance as well. And I think I've gotten pretty much comfortable around the rules, around the guidelines, and basically projecting the growth of the business. So yeah, I'm really excited, and thank you so much, Jackie, for this warm welcome.
No, no problem. Well, let's start with because I've been having the whole team on and we've been talking about the core value that resonates the most. So we'd
Mhm.
love to know what core value resonates the most for you. Because we
Oh,
have the 7 Ps, which we always joke about. If people can remember what all our 7 Ps are,
yeah.
which P of Team Jackie Porter resonates in terms of values resonates the most for you?
Of course. I mean, I when I came into the business, like what Jackie mentioned, persistence is something that I came into the Canadian financial industry with, because I was persistent that I want to make sure that I learn. I was persistent that I want to make an impact into into the lives of the clients. And of course, while I was growing into that role, uh, and developing myself in compliance, something that I also found of key importance to myself is proactivity.
Ah,
And these
okay.
are
So two
these are
Ps.
the 2 P's that I think which are really crucial in my role, which is being persistent and being proactive. And of course, learning and staying with with Jackie, I've understood a lot of uh, these things, and of course, it's been a great pleasure for this whole journey.
Yeah, yeah, and I said persistence for you, and you actually echoed it when I asked you about the team value.
Yeah,
So I would have been shocked if you didn't say persistence, just considering everything I know about you, Parthik. But
yeah,
proactivity for being in a compliance role,
yeah.
thinking ahead in terms of what do we need to think about in terms of what will a client need next? How do we protect the clients better? It's such an important value when you're in that position to understand how important proactivity is. So it's great to see, Parthik. So
I
let's
agree.
go on into the second question I'm going to ask you. Now, Jody was on last week and she talked about onboarding a client, what she does to sort of bring them on, welcome them into the practice. Let's talk about onboarding from a process standpoint. So
Yeah.
clients come into our practice, they get a really nice warm welcome from
Mhm.
Jody, and then they're taken through these series of processes to kind of get them familiar with kind of our back office system and how we work. Can you take me through what client onboarding looks like
Yeah.
from a operating standpoint?
Definitely. And I'm pretty sure when Jody last week was talking about client onboarding, she was pretty confident in basically displaying the way we've been onboarding our clients.
Right.
So here's from an
She didn't touch
operations
on that. She
perspective.
didn't touch on the processes. She was like,
Yeah.
we have to leave our affectionately known team engine of operations to
Yes.
talk about that. So she said, let me share the floor and
Yeah.
save that piece for you.
Exactly. So I would say from an operations perspective, I look at client onboarding in two different subsections, I would say. And the
Right.
first one is the team's confidence,
Right.
and the second one is the trust of the client.
Right. Right.
So both of these things go hand in hand, and the processes that we have, it develops the confidence of the team. So if we have strong processes, the team member are confident in displaying all of those processes to the clients, and of course it wins the client's trust. And I'm really proud
Exactly.
about the processes that we have developed over the years, and having those strategy meetings. So
Yeah, I was going to say, a client
mhm,
comes into us. I mean, Confidant community, that it's, Jody talked about how, shame people feel, how behind they might feel. So by the time they sit down and have a confidential, which is why we call this ourselves a confidant, and they have a confidential conversation about their finances, then, once they decide that they want to start working with us, they are signing a financial contract that says, they're a certain type of client, and they're going to get specific advice based on being, an individual, a business, a corporation. And, at that point, we're talking about their budget. We're talking to them about, their documents that we'll need from them to make sure we have everything. We have our facts straight, is what I like to say. Before we start looking at giving them guidance, we want to make sure we have the information. So one of the first things that come up with our business clients in particular is how safe, how confidential is the information?
Exactly.
Right? So how do we protect, how do we share information with you that in case something happens, you keep hearing these hacking stories. Have any of you guys seen the whole Ashley Madison hacking? That was like the craziest thing I'd ever seen on Netflix, right? The company, that they're all about confidentiality. It doesn't get more confidential than Ashley Madison. Right? Oh my God. And then they get hacked. So these are things we're constantly like talking about, client protection, right? These are the things we're constantly thinking about. And how can we ensure when you're sharing? And these are questions like if you're working with an advisor, these are questions that, our clients ask us, but do you ask the people that are serving you? How are you protecting my information? So we have a system set up. So let's talk a little bit about that, because that's your baby. These are the things. This has been my wish list, right? Is to get all these things together, and we made it happen. So let's talk about it.
So before we talk about the way the whole security is set up within Team Jackie Porter, I'd just like to give clients and the people who are the confidant community who's been listening to our live today is just about what regulators are looking for.
Right.
So the first thing when it comes to security is about the data residency.
Right.
So for financial advisors and Canadian financial advisors, it's mandatory that the data of client is saved within the Canadian borders. Right. And it's really important that you ask your advisor who's been serving you as well about this one question is, where is my data being stored right now?
Ooh, yeah.
Exactly. Because some advisors might not know this, and your data is being stored elsewhere. And when it comes that regulators are knocking at your door and you realize that you've not been following their rules and regulations, it basically causes a lot more harm to the client and to the advisor themselves.
So tell me something, Parthik. If I'm a client or if I'm an advisor, so you'd have to be talking to the data storage company to say, are you storing the client's data in Canada, or are you storing the client's data in the US? To make sure you're compliant, and making sure as a client you're asking those kind of, where's my data being stored, is basically
exactly. So there's a process when you that we follow within Team Jackie Porter when it comes to selecting a company or a third party software to help with all of these decisions. Is basically before we even go into it, we first see what are the list of applications that are pre-approved by either the regulators or the dealer that we are working with. Right. If there are certain tools that are already approved, we would use them. But if there's something that's outside of the approved list, we would definitely go and vet the systems ourselves. We have interviews, we have meetings with the third-party system developers about where the data is being stored, how the data is being accessible. Can it be accessed by the backend of their users as well? And based on all of those response and the checklist that we have, we take it all and we present it to our dealers, or even we ask for recommendations from the regulators about. Once we get an approval,
so it's definitely making sure we are storing data in a compliant way.
Yes.
And also storing data in a way that protects the client, so that if God forbid something does happen in the future, they know their information is protected.
Exactly.
So obviously CART has a highly encrypted server that protects emails, and but, we want to make sure we take it a step further, because clients are always very gun shy to share information in a way that doesn't ensure that there's a second layer of confidentiality to it. Would you say?
Exactly. I think clients have this perspective of Number one is having a good user experience. And
Right.
the most important thing along with the user experience is the security of the data.
Right.
And that's one of the reasons why we partner with the companies that make sure that they prove to us that the data that they have is basically collaborated on securely, stored securely, and stored within the Canadian borders. So, SideDrawer is one of the applications that we use for onboarding our clients. And if you have not heard about it, feel free to just go Google about SideDrawer. It's been it's a really been a great experience since we've onboarded SideDrawer within Team Jackie Porter, because clients have been able to securely collaborate with us. We have a lot of automations within the company itself,
So
which
let's talk about
yeah.
that. So let's talk about this as the client journey. So the client comes in,
Mhm.
Jody, they sign a contract, whatever contract that happens to be in terms of wanting us to help them as a business, as an individual, what have you.
Yes.
And so they go through that experience. They send us their data through the side drawer online storage system, of which they can also have their accountants or other professionals collaborate on that if they want to send
Mhm.
information to us through SideDrawer as well. And then talk us through again what happens then. When they go on SideDrawer, what do they see? What happens there? What
Yeah,
information?
first steps is basically we send out a link to the client, which is a recently new process that we have started with. Is we send out a link to the client and we get them basically that link opens up into a DocuSign electronic form.
Right,
You have the option within that form to just go through all the details, input your information securely,
right,
and that information that you're putting it into the form is once again securely transmitted and put into the PDF version
right.
automatically by DocuSign. So over here, DocuSign plays a key role for securely transmitting your data from a form to a PDF version of form which is approved by the regulators.
Right. So they go through that. Then they get when they go to side drawer, they'll
Yes.
get messages from us in terms of all the information about our team, right? So who's
Yeah,
our team?
exactly.
So let's just quickly go through, what they'll get,
Mhm.
just to give the confidant community just a general idea of what happens in terms of that client journey. Because I think so normally what would happen as well is once you sign on with Jody and you get the contract, we like to book a meeting with you because we're
Exactly.
professional naggers. We like to book a meeting with you ahead of getting you to send the documents. We just find when people have a date in the calendar, a week or two from when they talk to Jody, it gets them organized to get their documents to us in time for us to be able to review those documents, so that once we start to work with you, when we get into the meeting, we can start helping you and giving you ideas, giving you guidance. We want to make sure once you're in the meeting, you're getting value. So the more we have our information from you, it's sent to us securely. Then we have our facts straight, so that once you're in the meeting, we can start making the most of the time that we have together.
Exactly. And like you said, Jackie, we once we get the client onboarded and they are automatically from our systems given access to SiteDrawer. When
Mhm.
they open up SiteDrawer, they have different records. Now, SiteDrawer is an amazing system where you can see all your client folders, all the files that we need from you, and all the files that you need in your basically in your financial career to keep it as a safekeeping document that you might need to refer to later on. It's all accessible in front of you in different record tabs so that you can navigate through all your files easily.
Right.
And once basically you put in the files over here and you click OK to the request that we have submitted to you, we receive only the information that you have shared with us.
Exactly. And not only that, as you said, it's an online storage system, so you can always go back and see what's,
Yes.
all the information. So that's also where we send you information. So we'll send you an updated version of your plan. Often I've found in the past, before we were using systems like this, and I would say to the client, do you have the old version of your plan? We need to update it.
Exactly.
And they were like, oh, let me try to find it. So we wanted to set up an online storage system so it's easy for you to find the most important information that we've put together, that we've crafted
Exactly.
together. It's all in one place. Your accountant can see it. You can put your will there. You can put all those important documents there and know it's online securely stored, right? So,
Exactly.
and you can also communicate with the team. So we'll send you information there. You'll be able to see all of the information from who the team is. You'll also be able to communicate with us through SideDrawer and send us messages as well. So that's
Yeah.
really the value of that onboarding system. So we just want to make you understand kind of what that looks like in terms of helping our clients to get comfortable with working with us. So tell us a little bit about what a day in your life looks like, Parthik. I'd love to know. I know, but maybe are confidential.
I would say I wear a lot of hats in the operations department, but overall the day I would say is, in a nutshell, it's mainly towards security, it's towards compliance and privacy, a lot on the automations side, integrations and workflows within our own systems,
Right. Because
and
team engine is how can we make our client experience in terms of how do we use technology to automate to make it easier for clients to fill out a form. We're a fully remote team, confidant community. So how do we get things done in a way that makes it easy for our clients to work with us? How do we send them information? We love to make things mobile, application friendly, so they can
exactly.
send us things and they can do things very easily. We're working so that all of our documents are mobile friendly. And so it's for what I'm understanding from you, Parthik, and how you use technology and how all the things I've seen you do
Yeah.
with technology is really making it a much better user experience for our clients. But feel free to dig into that.
Yeah, like you mentioned, Jackie, clients are always on the move. They are busy. They want things handy.
Right.
Basically, that's one of the reasons why banks have financial apps. You want to see your investments in front of you directly. So we have my portfolio as an application as well for mobile phones, wherein you can see your investments.
Right.
We have SideDrawer as well. That's a mobile phone a friendly app which you can just download it and you can collaborate with us for all your files and all the DocuSigns and documents that you receive for signatures. That is also something that's mobile friendly. So you can fill
Right.
out the forms directly from your mobile phone instead of logging in into your computer and putting in time specially for that. So if you're on the move, if you still want to be having access to all your investments and the information that you need, definitely you can connect with us and we have all the resources that can help you out with your journey for while you're still being on the move, I would say.
Yeah, exactly. And I think I can't stress that enough because our clients are busy. So
Yeah,
being able to, get things done in a way that makes it easy for them, because we're all about, how can we either save you money, save you time, make it easier for you, and help you live your best life. I mean, that's what we really want to do
exactly.
as a part of this community as we work with clients, is to just really help them, add value in those ways. So if I don't know if you have anything else you want to say about being a fully remote team and how you use the
Yeah.
technology in our team. Because I think, you're so adept at technology. You're constantly like amazing me with what you can do with technology. So feel free to,
Yeah.
if you want to talk about how we use technology in a fully remote team and what
Mhm.
you think makes our team different.
Definitely. So, in terms of technology and being a fully remote team, this happened in 2019
Yeah,
after COVID. And
exactly.
that was a pressure push, I would say,
Yeah,
because it was mandatory for everyone to start working online. And a lot of these companies and even financial advisors that are out there, they were not ready and not prepared for it.
no, no.
Documents were not scanned and not stored online, they were physical copies. So we had challenges, a lot of them when COVID hit, but we made sure that we broke down those huge big challenges into small chunks. We
Yeah,
started working towards them and we started refining our own processes. And that's one of the main things that I like about Team Jackie Porter is we have client centric approach, and this is something that set us apart from other advisors out there. Is we have a very client centric approach, which means that we are adapting, we are learning from clients' experiences, we are recording those experiences, and then we are taking the same experiences to our strategy meetings. we
yes,
are we are taking that and we are making new processes around that, adapting to new technologies around those challenges, even if clients are facing, whether it's a good experience that a client has or a bad experience that a client has. We just make sure that we keep on improving it for them.
No, and that's one of the things I love about this team is, every quarter, Confidant community, we have a strategy session where we look at the challenges the team is having. Is it in onboarding? Is it in admin? Where are we finding that we're having challenges in how we're working? And then we step by step go through, what's the challenge, and the team brainstorms together to figure out what's the best way to solve it. And then we go back to the market and continue to test it out. So our teams, and you're a really big part of that, Parthik, is we're constantly refining our processes and how we do things. So we always want to hear from you, Confidant community. If you're a client of ours, getting feedback, as Parthik mentioned, good or bad, because ultimately that just makes us better. And that's always the goal, is to serve our community and make sure, again, we make it easy for them. We save them time, we save them money, and we help them to live their best life. And we can do that. We can only do that with feedback.
Yeah, definitely.
Awesome.
Yeah.
All right. My next question for you is, tell me what you think your superpower is.
Jackie.
I'm going to tell you. Yeah, I know it, but does the Confidant community know it? I don't know.
Yeah. So my superpower, I would say, was first team engine, but now I can proudly say that it's team and client engine.
Love
Yeah.
it.
The reason why is I really think that over the years now clients have started to know me, and
Yes.
they also know that they can depend on me when there is any unique challenges or unique needs that the clients would have. They would directly reach out to me, and then it's simple. Then we work together in a step-by-step process. If there's some regulatory rules which are bit complicated, but I break down for them, I explain it to them so that they understand. Okay, let's say for example it's a redemption. Here's some of the rules that you need to know about redemptions. Sometimes it's easier for clients to just think that it's my money that I've invested into something like an RRSP vehicle, and when I want to redeem, I'm still able to redeem it. But it's not that easy. There's rules and regulations that are revolving around that, and you need to know and you need to learn that. And that's something that I feel proud when I'm doing it, that I'm educating the clients when it comes to all these regulatory guidelines. And of course, I'm educating myself every single day, learning all of these things by news and publications of CIRO, which is the regulator for the mutual fund industry.
They're the ones who make sure we're doing things ethically and right for you. And I always talk, and that these are conversations that Parthik and I have all the time about what it means to be a fiduciary and acting in the client's best interests. It really means doing things like protecting our clients' data, making sure we're making the right decisions in terms of risk-adjusted returns for the clients, making sure we understand the client's risks, and having, sometimes repetitive conversations. I always say to clients, I'm ridiculously repetitive because I want to make sure you understand what we understand. We understand that finance is a language not everybody is fluent in, and so the way that Parthik helps our business is to make sure we're following the guidelines of our regulatory body. We're protecting us and we're protecting our clients in tandem. So that's really the role that you occupy, is to make sure that we are documenting thoroughly how we're acting in the client's best interest, to make sure that the client is aware. So it might be after we have a meeting and we recommend certain investments to you, right after you say yes and we set up the investments, you get the fun facts directly after the meeting. Even if we would show you in the meeting, you have a copy of what we have a copy of. And that's all helpful when it's already an automated process. We have a conversation, you get an email right after the conversation, after we've actioned something, to say, here's what we had as a conversation. Here's the reason why we made the recommendations. It's a quick professional nagging as our jam, making sure you have that information in front of you after the meeting to say, yeah. And, it's kind of like being ridiculously repetitive means it gives you an opportunity to get the same information over and over again. So you start to better understand, better learn, feel more confident as, we're making recommendations with you. And so Parthik's a really key role. He has a very key role in that, by making sure we have these systems that are basically working side by side with what we do in the meetings with clients. Things happen seamlessly and effortlessly almost to make that client experience that much better. So, Parthik, we appreciate you. It's so crucial what you do in terms of protecting the clients, making sure, we're acting in their best interest, documenting how we're doing that with clients, and making it so it's a seamless experience for them. So my final question to you is, any fun facts or stories fun facts about yourself, and any favorite client stories you want to share?
So, fun fact is something that Jackie, you stole from me from this conversation when it began.
You mean
But
the nagging, the professional nagging you did to me
the
when I
professional
was
lagging
like,
that I did to
this
you.
kid who keeps bugging me.
So here's the thing. I mean, I like Jackie mentioned, I was persistent when I came into this industry, but my first role was scanning these tax receipts. But
Yes,
one
I
thing that
remember
I
that.
one thing that I learned from this experience is, if you want to be want to be in this industry, it's there's challenges that you might face as as a fresher into this industry, but you need to keep going. You need to keep learning into this industry so that you
Totally.
are.
That's why practice is one of our team values, right?
Exactly. And to be able to be, worthy enough to serve the clients, that's something that you have to go through, and that's something that we are really proud of. That we have seen everything, done everything, and learned everything that makes us worthy enough to, serve our clients.
Yeah, and it's getting, that's one of the reasons, getting, like, we are really big on learning, so it's getting people on our team to get their licenses. I have my certified financial planning designation, my EP, my elder planning designation, my real wealth management. I'm going to continue because as a team who promotes a culture of learning, practice being one of our values, I'm going to continue to, and I always also encourage the team members to keep learning, keep getting more knowledge. Knowledge is power, right? In
Yeah,
being able to help and serve our client base.
exactly.
Awesome.
So
And
yeah,
so, I really agree with you. All the documents, there's so much documentation in this business. So being able
yes,
to organize it in a way that helps clients understand what they're looking at, helping them, understand the processes of how they can work with us more easily, all the things that you do. Parthik, I just want to say, I want to express my sincere gratitude for all that you do and for who you are and for coming on the live today. I
yeah,
know you're not, coming on the live. You're not like a typical person getting in front of the camera, and it's not something that necessarily comes to you easily. So, so I
yeah,
really appreciate you coming, but at the same time, I really would be remiss if I didn't help our clients and help our community understand that, folks, as I said last week, I cannot do this business alone. There's a lot to be done with managing paperwork and managing processes and helping clients on the pain points around their finances, to better understand their finances, to feel more confident, to be that decision partner that they need. I can't do these things alone. I need a team. It takes a village. It
yeah,
takes a very capable village.
yeah,
And you know what? And it's not just any team. Like, I'm not just assembling people together who, we just throw them together and they're the village. We really want people who care about making a difference in the lives of our clients. So, Confidant community, again, I'm going to say it. The good news is that they're real humans like
yeah.
Parthik. You met the rest of my team who are ready to take your call, ready to help you achieve your financial goals that you've set for yourself. I'm going to stress, do not hesitate to reach out to us if you're, again, looking for that personalized service where you don't feel like a number. My team's diverse.
Yeah.
We really aim to be that firm for clients who are looking for alternatives to the big bank, because people come and go. We are not planning on going anywhere. We're a young team. Well, youngish. I don't know. I consider myself young, but maybe other people, Confidant community, might have your own ideas about that. But I don't plan on going anywhere. As long, the great thing about doing this business, as long as I've got my mind, I can keep going. So we love being on the cutting edge of technology, thanks to people like Parthik, and we love serving our clients across Canada, creating processes and systems that protect them in our role, as I mentioned, as a fiduciary. So we're going to keep doing that. And if there's any way that we can add value to what you're doing, reach out. Thank you again for tuning into our live today. And if you missed any of the fun facts we shared about what makes our team special, don't you worry. You can check it out on our live on Sunday. And if you enjoyed this live, if this is the first time you ever had a conversation to know what's a fiduciary, what does an operations manager do for a financial planning team? If you liked what you heard today, please click on the like button and comment on the live. If you have any questions, please feel free to share it with a friend. Sharing is definitely caring. And really remember to check out our YouTube and social media channels for all the latest updates. This was our last live of the month, Confidant Community. You're going to need to check out next month to know what we're going to be up to. So see you next month. Happy beginning of summer solstice. Thank you again, Parthik, for coming.
Thank you so much.
Jody's on the live right now. She's already put all of our information up if you do want to reach out to us. And thanks again for coming on, coming and listening to the live Confidant Community. See you next month. Talk soon, everybody.
Thank you, everyone. Bye.
Bye now.